Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Paula Dagnan. A long-time Hazleton business went up in flames last night. WYLN's Gary Perna has more.
Just before 10:30 Thursday night, Hazleton fire crews were called to the Beltway Diner on South Church Street for a fire. When the first arriving crews got on scene, the fire was already shooting through the roof.
When Deputy Chief Sean Jones arrived on scene, there was already fire through the roof above the kitchen area. And then that fire extended throughout the truss roof system, so it was already across the whole building above the ceiling.
Mandak said fire crews started making an interior attack on the fire, but were pulled out when conditions got worse.
Yeah, well, they initially went in to try to attack the fire, and we were setting up for to open up the roof, and that's when a big section about 25 feet by 8 feet fell in when the trusses burned through and failed.
The owner of the diner and another employee had just left about a half hour before the fire was called in.
We closed the business up at 9:55 last night, and myself and one of my dishwashers locked the doors and left. And 25 minutes later, I got a phone call from a friend of mine that there was flames coming out of the roof of the building. I rushed down here. There was plenty of fire trucks, and the fire apparently started in the ceiling. Electrical fire, I'm assuming, and it spread throughout the rafters, throughout the length of the diner.
The owner said he will rebuild the diner.
What ran through your head, when you pulled in here last night?
Well, the first thing is my employees, 36 employees. And the loyal customers that come here every day, that support our business. And I just want to tell them that we will be back.
Deputy Chief Brian Mandak said officials are still investigating how this fire got its start.
Everybody involved, the building owner, the restaurant owner, which are two different parties, are insured. The State Police Fire Marshal was in, along with the HPD Fire Marshal and the Fire Department. At this time, we're going to leave it under investigation, but we have no reason to suspect foul play or an arson event. It looks to be accidental.
The morning after the fire, crews were here cleaning up and boarding up what's left of the Beltway Diner, one of the most popular places in Hazleton. The owner of the restaurant says he does plan to rebuild, just doesn't know when, but he does plan on coming back here to where the Beltway Diner stood. In Hazleton, for WYLN News, I'm Gary Perna.
We now know it was a Mount Carmel man that was injured in a crash on Interstate 81 in Schuylkill County Thursday morning. Police say 21-year-old Gerald Reichwein of Mount Carmel was driving a Jeep Wrangler when he ran into the rear of a tractor trailer on 81 South in Tremont Township. It took emergency crews nearly an hour to get the man from the Jeep. The Jeep had heavy damage, the tractor trailer only minor damage. Police say they will cite Reichwein for following too closely. 81 was closed for about 2 hours Thursday morning. A Hazleton man is facing charges after police say they found him crouching between houses just after 11 o'clock Wednesday night. 45-year-old Edward Hoffman Jr. was charged with resisting arrest, loitering and prowling at night, defiant trespass, and public drunkenness. According to court papers, police were called to a report of a man hiding under a car. While responding, officers discovered Hoffman had jumped a fence and made it into a yard in the 400 block of West Maple Street. Police then saw the man crouched in a small wooded area between the houses in the area of North Locust and West Green Streets. After refusing to come out of the wooded area, officers made their way into the woods where Hoffman refused arrest. He was taken into custody to City Hall, where he was placed in a holding cell. Police noticed a strong alcohol odor on Hoffman, who was then taken to Lehigh Valley Hospital to be medically cleared. Hoffman was jailed at Luzerne County Prison in lieu of $25,000 bail. Convictions have been handed out in federal court. 45-year-old Roberto Torner, 34-year-old Liza Robles, both of Freeland, and 49-year-old David Alzagari Lujones of Weatherly were convicted on October 31st of heroin trafficking, firearms, and explosives offenses for stolen military C4. Torner was convicted of 1 count each of conspiring to distribute heroin, conspiring to be a felon in possession of firearms and ammunition, possessing stolen explosives, as well as other charges. Robles was also charged with conspiring to distribute heroin and heroin distribution, conspiring to be a felon in possession of firearms and ammunition, and 1 count of providing firearms and ammunition to a felon. Alzagari Lujones was convicted of 1 count of conspiring to distribute heroin and 1 count of distributing heroin. Back in June of 2015, the trio worked together to sell about 5 grams of heroin to a confidential informant. Evidence showed that for nearly a decade, Robles purchased different types of firearms and ammunition, allowing Torner to access them, even though he was prohibited from possessing firearms and ammunition after becoming a 3-time convicted felon. Torner may receive a life prison sentence, while Robles and Alzagari Lujones each can receive up to 20 years in prison. United States Attorney David Freed announcing that Assistant U.S. State's Attorney Eric Pfisterer will serve as District Election Officer for Pennsylvania's Middle District, tied in with the Justice Department's nationwide Election Day program for the upcoming November 6th general election. He will be responsible for overseeing the district's handling of complaints relating to election fraud, as well as abuses in voting rights. Many federal laws are in place to protect against bribery of voters, buying and selling votes, altering vote tallies, and other election day crimes. Anyone who would like to make a complaint about possible violations of federal voting rights laws can call the Civil Rights Division's voting section at 1-800-253-3931. The largest component of the annual budget for Luzerne County was not discussed much at Tuesday's budget work session. The Division of Corrections proposed 2019 budget calls for $28.5 million in expenditures, roughly 20% of the $140.95 million budget, which was proposed by County Manager David Pedri 3 weeks ago. County Council reviewed the division's 2019 budget with Director of Corrections Mark Rokovich, with no serious objections being made to the proposal, meaning a 0.6% increase over this year's budget of $28.34 million. There was also a projected increase of almost $200,000 in the potential cost of a new provider of health care services for corrections. County administrators looked into options earlier this year after 4 female inmates died in an 8-month span at the county correctional facility. The Division of Correction operates the County Minimal Offenders Unit and the County Correction Facility, both in Wilkes-Barre, with a workforce made up of over 300 people. Some very colorful snowplows will soon hit the roads in Schuylkill County. WYLN's Gary Perna has more on the reason behind the painting project.
5 school districts throughout Schuylkill County have teamed up with PennDOT to paint a special message on some snowplows that will be used this winter.
Absolutely. Plowing during winter, we're in Schuylkill County here, and we know how the winters can be, and know that sometimes they can be pretty rough, and really need to get the message out to be safe around the plow. If you don't give them room to work, it can really cause some problems for the plow driver, for yourself. So that's always a message we push in winter, so it's great to see just this different way to be able to get that message out.
Brown said this was done in other parts of the state and thought it would be something great to start in our area.
This is a program that PennDOT has engaged in several years through other districts. They have taken, this is our first year in District 5 that covers Schuylkill County. So we saw this program in other districts. We really wanted to roll with it. And we thought, hey, this is a good idea. This is a great thing for the kids to, a different way to be creative and hopefully be able to get a safety message out to the drivers of Schuylkill County and let really the kids have a different way of doing this that a lot of the adults don't necessarily think of. So sometimes that's just the best way of doing things.
Students from North Schuylkill, Shenandoah Valley, Mahanoy area, Tamaqua area, and Pine Grove area worked night and day to paint the messages on the plows.
Total, we were trying to figure it out, and it took over 70 hours. Some nights I was up until 9 o'clock using my mom's headlights to try and get light. It was very cold, and it was outside, so there was a lot of rain. Thank God we bought a tent for it. And how we picked the design is there was only about maybe 3 or 4 people that actually submitted ideas, and we started out with a sketch on a 4x12 piece of paper. And so they decided to let the school board vote on which one won, and thank God mine won, but my lettering, I'll be honest, is not the best, and Jade's won. So we decided to combine both of them together and do a little collaboration.
The contest was designed to help teach students about road safety.
5 school districts from throughout Schuylkill County have their plows here at the PennDOT maintenance facility in Schuylkill Haven. Now, we judge them, but you still have a chance to do that as well by heading to the PennDOT Facebook page and taking the poll online. You have to do that by Tuesday. In Schuylkill Haven, for WYLN News, I'm Gary Perna.
Coming up on WYLN News, fighting welfare fraud and fighting the flu. But first, let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. Don't have to worry about those plows being out this weekend. Overnight showers tonight, the low 32. Tomorrow, chilly, rain, a high 48. Turn your clocks back before you go to bed Saturday night. Sunday, we're going to see some sun and 52. Stay with us.
They attack us, assault us, call us
the basket of deplorables.
Matt Cartwright stands with them and accuses us of supporting bigotry and misogyny. Meanwhile, Cartwright supports dangerous policies, siding with the radical left. Enough. John Schrin is one of us, born, raised, and lives here, fighting for our values.
That's why we need John Schrin in the Congress of the United States.
You're terrific candidates for Congress. John Schrin.
I'm John Schrin, and I approve this message.
Churz Auto Sales has been serving the area with quality vehicles since 1954. Churz Auto Sales is known as your friendly dealer and now in their 4th generation and voted the best used car dealer by the readers of Standard Speaker Choice Awards. John Schur would like to thank everyone that voted for his business. When you need a quality pre-owned vehicle, choose from a large selection at Churz 570-454-7229.
Seen university advertising. A student like me pitching you the same old ideas. But I'm not gonna do that.
Instead, I'm gonna tell you what you can do with a Penn State degree. You can help anyone. Go anywhere. Create! And with 20 campuses to choose from, you'll always feel at home.
Look, Penn State is amazing, but your best years are just beginning. Come find out for yourself.
Fees in which the Department of Environmental Protection will start to levy on public water systems in 2019 could cost Hazleton City Authority an additional amount of over $26,000 yearly. The levy is part of the plan to increase the amount of state inspectors who oversee public water systems. The DEP will also increase other annual fees and construction permit fees next year in order to raise $7.5 million to increase the number of public water system inspectors. According to a letter the city authority received from the DEP, the state agency will start to levy the annual community water system fees in 2019, which will be assessed on a sliding scale based on the total population served by each public water system. All fees are as a result of changes to the safe drinking water regulations made by state legislators. There's a new law in place which targets welfare fraud. Those who are found guilty under this new law will be ordered to pay restitution up to 3 times the amount committed in the fraud. Pennsylvania Inspector General Bruce Beamer is pleased with the new law, saying the fraud of SNAP benefits is a serious problem all across the state. Flu season kicks off as the calendar turns to November, and the State Department of Health is issuing its annual advisory recommending that Pennsylvania residents over 6 months old get a flu shot. The vaccine is highly recommended for the elderly, very young, and those with disabilities and other medical conditions. Last flu season had over 121,000 reported cases in the state, along with 256 reported deaths. Coming up on Humboldt's News Choice, our Julia Wiegand is at Harmon Geist Stadium. We'll check in with her, plus the weekend review. Don't go away.
Dishonest Danny Wolf will say anything to win, just like Pelosi told him to. He calls himself a moderate, but admits he voted for Hillary Clinton. Said he wasn't a lobbyist for cruel puppy mills. State records prove he lied. Dishonest Danny can't be trusted. Dan Muser's one of us, raised his family here, helped grow a local business here, and shares our local values. Dan Muser, he'll keep our country moving forward.
I'm Dan Muser, and I approve this message.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Hi, I'm Marty Burns, host of Sports Talk. If you joined us at the very beginning of the year, we talked about the goal, get a home playoff game at Harmon Geist Stadium. Well, the Cougars have done it. Coach Mike Brennan's Cougars will have a rematch against Williamsport this Friday night. We preview that, look back against Crestwood, and our very special guest is Sparky Welk. All this week on Sports Talk, brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network.
Express Care. Walk in and you walk into the region's most trusted health network.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600. For over 25 years, Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg, has provided professionally designed skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields. All stations are handicap accessible with resident NRA certified shooting instructors on site. Packages are available to fit anyone's budget, and there is a restaurant and catering on site. The facility is also available for weddings, business meetings, bachelor parties, private parties of any kind. Call 570-384-2314.
Tonight, the Hazleton Cougars will face off with the Williamsport Millionaires, where the winner of tonight will advance to the sub-regional championship game to face either Scranton or Delaware Valley. Now, both the Cougars and Millionaires have 5-5 regular season records. We actually saw the teams play here at Harmon Geist Week 4 during one of the, I have to say, longest broadcasts we've ever done live, about 3.5 hours. Hazleton and Williamsport battled head-to-head, resulting in a final score of 64-63, the last-minute one-point victory for Williamsport. The series is currently tied 15-15. Two Cougars to watch out for tonight are running back Damon Horton and quarterback Ryan Sparky Wolk. Now, Horton has rushed for 19 touchdowns on the year. He's getting closer to being 100% healthy, so Horton has the potential to take over the running game. Wolk has thrown 15 touchdowns and for just under 900 yards. The experienced quarterback could make all the difference with his arm tonight, as Williamsport hasn't been playing their best football on the long stretch. Now, two Millionaires to watch out for tonight are Blaze McClements and tight end Nasir Jones. McClements is averaging 4.3 yards per carry, and just last week he rushed for 98 yards. Jones is averaging 12.9 yards per catch. Hazleton will have to shut down Williamsport's running game, and Williamsport will have to limit Hazleton's offensive opportunities. Now, I would say that these teams are developing quite a bit of a rivalry, which shows in prior final scores between the two. Like Week 4, the wins and losses between the two teams have just been single digits these past few seasons. Cougars have waited patiently for over a year now for this postseason home game opportunity and have been predicted to come out on top tonight. But be sure to check it out for yourselves, or you will be able to see it on our Monday's recap of the highlights at 5:30 during our news. Let's take it to the Week in Review.
Monday, fire crews responded to a fire at the Valley Diner on Kidder Street in Wilkes-Barre around 10:30 p.m. The diner was closed at the time of the blaze and no injuries were reported. Firefighters had to be pulled from inside the structure because of dangerous conditions. The roof collapsed about a half hour after crews exited the building. The diner will be torn down. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Tuesday, the Hazleton Police Department upgraded to an advanced system in their vehicles, aiming to serve the public and respond to calls better. Printers are now in the cars, as well as a TRACS program, which will enable officers to write electronic citations which can print out and be sent to the magistrate within seconds. New tablets in police vehicles can check for valid permits, give location of the cars, allow officers to see all incoming calls, run plates, and provide silent dispatch. Wednesday, a Mahanoy City woman was charged with animal cruelty after leaving two dogs in a home without food or water. State police were called to 28 Walnut Street in Delano Tuesday for a report of two dogs left in an abandoned residence. The dogs showed signs of malnourishment and had no food or water. The residence had not been cleaned for some time and was overrun with decal matter. Hillside SPCA took custody of the two dogs. The Delano Township Code Officer condemned the home as unfit for human habitation. 30-year-old owner Patty Herring of Mahanoy City has been cited for neglect of animals and will answer to charges in court. Thursday, an electrical fire in Lucerne Township left 8 people without a place to live. L&L Fire Company, along with other companies, responded to the fire on Buck Mountain Road, and crews found a light smoke condition and fire on the exterior of the home when they arrived on scene. Firefighters were able to contain the fire on the outside of the house. Firefighters say there was no interior damage, but major repairs are needed. The American Red Cross is assisting the 3 adults and 5 children who lived at the home. Friday, fire crews responded to a fire at the Beltway Diner on South Church Street in Hazleton. Upon arrival, firefighters found heavy smoke and flames. The fire occurred shortly after the diner closed. Crews tried battling the flames from the inside of the structure, but were pulled out for safety reasons. The roof collapsed shortly after they came out. The owner of the diner hopes to rebuild. The fire is under investigation by a state police fire marshal. That's your Week in Review on Wyln News.
And that's the news. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next here on WYLN TV.
Appliances are right over there, and this is part of our furniture department.
Okay, but I'm looking for a mattress.
Well, you've come to the right place. Grand Central is Northeast Pennsylvania's #1 Sealy mattress dealer. We have Sealy mattress sets from only $199 and Stearns & Foster queen sets from only $45 per month. We also have interest-free financing up to 60 months. And remember, delivery and takeaway are absolutely free.
So we don't have to do anything?
Not if you buy your Sealy mattress at Grand Central.
It looks like I did find the right place to buy a Sealy mattress.
Grand Central in Hazleton, the right place to buy a Sealy mattress.
Hi, I had a very minor fender bender tonight in an unreasonably narrow fast food drive-thru lane. Don't worry, I have everything handled. I already spoke to our Allstate agent, and I know that we have accident forgiveness, which is so smart on your guys' part. Like the fact that they'll
4 weeks without the car.
Okay, yep, good night.
With accident forgiveness, your rates won't go up just because of an accident. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Visit your local Allstate agent, the McNeilis Agency in Hazleton at 1092 North Church Street, or in Hometown Hometown Village Square.
Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships is very proud to become a part of the Hazleton area. Come see us in Hazel Township or visit us online at blazehazleton.com. There's Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac, and Mazda. Plus, a huge inventory of the finest quality pre-owned vehicles available, all with the Blaze Alexander lowest price guarantee. We have a long-held reputation for low prices, great selection, and top-notch service. Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships in Hazleton. We're taking the deals the other guys won't.
watching Monterey City's Choice. For news, weather, and live local sports, WYLN, we're your local network.